Right, welcome to Tote's Danny versus Dicky. Our two Tote ambassadors are joining us this evening to give you the best of both the opinions from the UK and Ireland. How are you getting on, Richard and Danny? You all right?
All good now.
Excellent. So obviously it's a busy weekend with Cheltenham and Punchestown. We've got the start of the Tote 10 to follow on Saturday. And just in case any of our viewers missed it, we've now launched a Tote guarantee across BritBet's 55 partner racecourses, which means the Tote win price will always match the industry starting price or exceed it if the pool is bigger. So that's great news for punters. But now let's get straight into Friday's action and give them some tips and advice. We'll start with Cheltenham, and I'll go to you first, Richard. And a horse, My Drogo, that you included in your Tote 10 to follow, now only faces one runner at Cheltenham. But how far do you think he can go over fences?
Yeah, I think look, he was very, very good over hurdles, and he got better and better as last year went on. And you know, I just think he looks very, very talented, and I think we haven't seen the best of him yet. So you know, the Skeltons always do really well with their novice chasers. They always seem to produce a real nice chasing type that jumps well. So you know, he's definitely a very exciting horse to look forward to. Excellent,
Danny. I know he was close to your 10 to follow list as well.
Yeah, he would have been close enough to it. I didn't put him into it, but he's a horse that the Skeltons think an awful lot of, and you'd have to think he's going to win this. Gin and Lime, she's been a good mare for Henry de Bromhead all summer, but she rated £7 below My Drogo, and yeah, is carrying a pound more. So like, you'd have to think, yeah, there's one-way traffic here.
Definitely. And what more do you know about Gin and Lime? Is there any chance of an upset, or definitely going the way of My Drogo?
You know, she has the experience, and I suppose, you know, her experience through the summer on better ground is definitely going to stand to her. Novice chases, anything can happen. She got beat in Galway, probably ran a little bit too keen. Fan the Blues collared her late on in that race, but confirmed there was no ill effects back in Tipperary. Puppy Power won her that day, and she jumped very well, but you'd have to just think on what we know about My Drogo. The reports are that he schooled well, and he's going to take all the beating here.
Definitely. A race that should be a bit more competitive is the cross country on Friday. And Richard, you'll know plenty from riding Balthazar King and them kind of races. Just from a jockey's point of view, how challenging is it when you go from riding during the meeting on the normal courses to then having to go at that?
I think when it first started, it was a bit of a shock to a lot of us, but actually, you know, the course is laid out really, really well, and actually the fences jump nicely. And Danny will tell you, I'm sure, more, but I think, you know, whether the Punchestown course probably takes a little bit more jumping. So, you know, actually it's really, it's a nice track for the horses to take to, and most of the horses will always come to school there first. So, again, it's been a real, I think it's a great thing for Cheltenham. It gives us a new thing to look at, and it's been a great horse. And you know, Balthazar King was fantastic for me, and the likes of Tiger Roll and you know, other good horses have, you know, really taken to it and showed its real class race now, as well as you know, as well as something different.
And Danny, obviously Tiger Roll has dominated these kind of events recently at Cheltenham anyway, but Balco de Flo is the favourite coming across this time. Do you think that he'll take to this? He didn't seem to unseated last time in this race at the festival, but then went on to run well in the national at Aintree.
Yeah, the fact that he's unseated around here before, I think the odds are just way too short for him. You know, he's probably going to run a decent race, and I'm sure Henry's done plenty of schooling with him since then, but I couldn't really warm to him. The horse I like in it is Freewheeling Dylan for Dermot McLaughlin. Ricky Dial rides him. He won the Irish National last year. He's a good stayer. And I've seen a few videos on Ricky Dial's Instagram of him schooling over plenty of cross-country fences, and he seems to really enjoy it. The horse that stays well once he jumps. I think 10-12 is not a bad weight for him. He's been there a solid each-way chance.
Yeah, it could be a shrewd pick, that. We could be catching up with you next week and seeing that as a bit of a shrewd pick when we've shared it on social media. Hopefully, anyway. Just moving on again at Cheltenham on Friday, the Irish could have a big say again in the Grade 2 novice hurdle. Off your Rocco and Blazing Carl, any of them likely to really compete, Danny?
Yeah, Off Your Rocco, you know, has plenty of experience. That actually beat me in Limerick the last day in a graded novice hurdle, but I was very slow away from the last two hurdles. I was second on a 14-1 shot that day, and I just don't think his jumping was quite slick enough for what might be needed. Things will happen a good bit faster around Cheltenham. Blazing Cal for Charles Burns and Tony McInerney won a nice maiden hurdle in Galway. I think he could be open to more improvement. He's the one I'd be pitting in there against the Nichols horse, but Nichols' horse looked very good in the entry. I'm sure Richard will tell you more about that.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you exactly about that, Richard. Gelino Bello looked to be decent at entry the last day.
He did, and I think it showed the way he travelled and jumped, and I think a lot of Paul's horses seem to have just be coming to form, and there could well be a little bit more improvement to come from him, and like Danny was saying, I think Off Your Rocco, he's obviously had a great summer and been in great form, but you just think that probably there are some slightly smarter horses coming out now, and is he going to be the better ones will start to appear. I thought Paul Nichols' horse, he the way he did it, it was very likable. And again, around Cheltenham, when they come down the hill, they will go a stride quicker. And I think sometimes, these horses that have done well for the summer, all of a sudden they can start to find it hard come this time of year, when some of the more the winter novices that we're obviously, I'm sure Paul Nichols will be hoping this fella's going to be good enough to attend some of the best novice hurdles through the winter. So again, I think he's the one I think is open to the improvement. And obviously Charles Burns' horse as well will be very similar. He's had one run. You're thinking that how much improvement is to come. So Off Your Rocco's, he for me, he knows what he's doing. You'll know where he is, but there's one or two in this that look to have the improvement. And I think the favourite, obviously, he's probably going to be quite short, but off his entry run, I thought that was probably the one. If I was going to pick one, is the one I'd want to ride.